Moscow on Saturday ordered its troops to advance in Ukraine from all directions as the Ukrainian capital Kyiv imposed a blanket curfew after fighting in the city that saw Russian troops pushed back. Ukrainian officials reported 198 civilian deaths in total, including 3 children, as explosions reverberated in the Kyiv, forcing residents to flee to safety underground. Moscow said it fired cruise missiles at military targets and would develop the offensive from all directions. After accusing Ukraine of having rejected talks, but on the day 3 of Russia's invasion, defiant Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky vowed his country would never give in to the Kremlin, while Washington said the invading force had a lack of momentum. Earlier, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky asked Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday for political support at the United Nations after New Delhi abstained from a Security Council vote. India is currently on the United Nations top body, but along with China and the United Arab Emirates, did not vote on a resolution on Friday. They deplored Russia's aggression against Ukraine and demanded the immediate withdrawal of its troops. Russia vetoed the resolution using its power as a permanent member of the Council. In a Twitter post on Saturday, Zelensky said he had spoken with Modi and told him that more than 1 lakh invaders are on our land. Stop the aggressor together, he tweeted. Despite being a democracy and a member of the Quad grouping with Australia, Japan, and the United States, India has neither explicitly condemned Moscow's action nor called them an invasion. Instead, it has repeatedly referred to developments in Ukraine. Its positions on events in Ukraine has raised concerns in Washington, with White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki telling reporters on Friday that we continue to engage with the Indians. Ukraine's army said it held back on assault on the capital, but was fighting Russian sabotage groups, which had infiltrated the city. Zelensky said in a video messages, "We will do and say only one thing. We will fight until we have liberated our country." He earlier said and had trailed Moscow's plan to overthrow him and urged Russians to pressure President Vladimir Putin into stopping the conflict. The Pentagon estimates that half of the invasion force built up by Russia on Ukraine's borders in recent months is now inside the country. But there was a lack of momentum over the last 24 hours, particularly in the northern parts of Ukraine. And Russian military had still not gained air superiority over the country. The official said Ukrainian Health Minister Viktor Lyashchenko said 198 civilians, including 3 children, had been killed in the conflict so far, and 1,115 wounded. In Kyiv, residents sought sanctuary in subway stations and cellars, while Zelensky announced a baby girl had been born on the metro, saying the birth showed the enemy has no chance. Some recounted a night of horror. Zelensky said he asked United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres to strip Russia of its vote at the United Nations Security Council as punishment for the invasion. Earlier, he thanked partners for sending weapons and equipment, with ex-communist Eastern European countries and British among them, while Washington announced the $350 million of new military assistance. In a major U-turn, Berlin said it will send Kyiv 1,000 anti-tank weapons and 500 Stinger missiles, reversing its long-standing policy of not exporting weapons to war zone. Germany also announced it was working to limit Russia's access to SWIFT global payments, which would cripple Russia's trade with most of the world. Despite previously resisting the move over concerns Russia could cut off gas supplies. Keep it up. Zelensky responded, but the Kremlin has so far brushed off sections, including those targeting Putin personally, as a sign of Western impotence. NATO has said it is deploying its rapid response force of 40,000 troops to Eastern Europe for the first time. But the Western military alliance has made clear it will not send any troops to Ukraine. On the ground early Saturday, AFP reporters in Kiev heard occasional blasts of what soldiers said were artillery and Grad missiles being fired in an area northwest of the city center. There were also loud explosions in the center,